before you start drinking coffee, you should just drink, like, just gorge yourself on water. I can't believe I didn't know about this. This is actually pretty good. I like this a lot. Today I want to talk about manhood. What is this to be a man? Well, to me, a man is to be strong of body, which means you're capable of the typical needs, protection, providing. To be stable of mind, which means you have strong judgment, the ability to withstand the weight of the world, that type of thing. To be true of heart, that means freedom to navigate the world's issues, be happy, and to be full of life. This is not to be happy. This is more to be able to embody your principles and live by those principles that you embody. You combine those four things, you get a man. So, I have a friend who came to me recently, and he was talking about this experience he had, sitting around with a bunch of girls, right? This guy is relatively popular. He's always had girls around him, girls on him. I was like, oh yeah, good for you, bro. Good for you. Happy to see you winning. When we got to talking about this experience, I'll just say what the experience is. So, he was standing outside in this parking lot with these girls, like 5 or 6 of them. They were chatting up, having an easy time, happy-go-lucky, everything's okay. And some guy rolls up and tries to hit on one, And the girls get super quiet. Now, if you're a man, we all understand what this is. We all get it, Even if you're not doing anything explicitly harmful, that's just kind of how it is to be a man. We're all kind of, it's just like that. It is what it is. But I don't think that's what bothered him. Well, I know that's not what bothered him. That's why I'm telling the story. What he got out of that situation, that he's seen countless times before, but it's only now that it really clicked for him that, oh hey, this guy rolled up, he commanded a respect that I certainly don't have. Why is he able to do that, and why am I not able to? And I was like, you want women to be scared of you? It didn't really, it didn't track. It didn't make sense to me. But his thing wasn't that he wanted women to be scared of him, per se. Although that probably would enable his goal. What he was really getting at was that, women... He was popular with women, not because he was necessarily, like, attractive or anything. He's, like, 5'6", 5'7". But because, they didn't see him as a threat. They didn't respect him. And it only clicked right there and then, and it... Oh man, it activated some things. It got pretty bad. So, when I heard this story, at first I was a bit unbelieving of it, I admit. What the fuck? Oh. I guess it's the bird. Hello. I was a little bit dismissive, I admit. I didn't really get it. Oh, it's the ocelot. Is that the fucking sound like? I was a bit dismissive of his problem at first, because I was like, bro, you cannot be serious. You're not about to go Andrew Tate on me, because you don't scare the women, bro. There's no fucking way. But like, I thought about it more, and I realized, okay, that is a serious issue, and it does need addressing, because otherwise, like I accidentally alluded to, he is going to Tate out on me. There are two routes that people take when they hear this, when they get this problem of being emasculated and not having an answer. Right? The first reason, the first way this goes, is the Andrew Tate route. We all know what that looks like. None of us particularly like it, but it's hard to argue with the fact that it does work, as opposed to the other solutions that people shit out of their ass, the things that don't work at all. The other route this goes is that you become completely emasculated. You lose all your fucking sense of purpose. You're barely a man. You feel aimless. You feel hopeless. You feel sad. You feel depressed, and you're worse off. This is the thing no one really wants to happen, but it happens more and more because, well, that's a bit too complicated to talk about right now. I want to focus this talk. So when I'm looking at my principles and the way I reacted to my friend going through this masculinity crisis, I recognize I didn't really act according to my principles. He needed help, and I was unable to help. Not just in the moment because I didn't take him seriously, because I was being condescending, I was being a complete fucking asshole, but also because I didn't really have an answer. It's difficult to have an answer with something as nebulous as manhood. Like, sure, I know what makes me a man, but I don't know what the fuck makes you a man. What do you value? If it was so easy to find out what manhood was, then even without a father, you would be able to be a man. That is not the case. You know, I think we have shared experiences as men. Things that happen to all of us. Just like women have shared experiences. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever gone to the beach and then you just start digging a hole, or maybe you see someone else digging a hole at the beach, and you join in and you start digging alongside them? This is some weird hive mind shit, and it almost sounds like a conspiracy theory. It sounds like we're brainwashed or something. But it's this shared experience that all men understand. We have all done this. We have all seen this. We have all experienced this. You're going to the beach, and there's just some guy digging a fucking hole in the sand. He's not swimming. He's not playing volleyball. He's digging a fucking hole. And for some reason, for all of us, this is some. There's nothing more stimulating, nothing more exciting than digging the hole with this guy, or seeing how far he'll dig, or someone's going around the edges and he's putting up a fucking barrier. Like, there's so many things going on with that. There's so many layers to it. But what I think is really important to understand about it is that it speaks to a certain experience that all of us share as men. There's certain truths that we hold. And it's not relegated to our social science, it's not relegated to gender, it's not relegated to any type of fucking anything anyone tells you, right? It's just because of our biology. There's something inside of us that says, yes, dig the hole. Good idea. Let's dig a hole. The manly urge to dig a hole. There's a real difference between the sexes, and I think that truth has kind of been stymied because that truth has been used to hurt people. It's been used to oppress people, and I don't fuck with oppression either. I get it, but it is true, right? Just because something is hurting you doesn't mean that you can erase the truth of it, right? What was that cringe thing? Facts don't care about your feelings. Once again, funny, a bit assholeish to say, but it 100% true, absolutely true. Instead of amplify, we're going to do an AoE. It didn't really kill him. I really need the amplify on. The differences between us, like, okay, for example, communication. Something that my mom taught me when I first started dating, like middle school or something, was that whenever you're listening to a woman talk about her problems, never, ever, ever give her solutions. Holy shit, never give her solutions. Giving solutions is a terrible idea. Don't do it. Because she doesn't want solutions. She wants you to listen to the problem. She doesn't want an analysis. She doesn't want input. She wants you to listen to the problem, and that is it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She doesn't want solutions to the problem. Like, there were a number of times where I'm listening to some girl talk about her problems. I'm like, oh, here's the obvious solution. I know what the solution is to this, right? Just like I'm giving you a solution right now to manhood. Like, I'm sure a lot of us have this thing of like, okay, I know what the solution is to your problem. It's super easy to implement, and I'll help you. I will help you. We can work on this together. We can do this together. Doesn't really go appreciated. It's just the way we as men expect answers, and the way that we come at problems, and we want to communicate our problems, and we solve our problems. It's all based on this thing of logic and like, okay, I want this done. I want this to happen. But for women, it's not like that. I'm not sure what the fuck it's like because I'm not a woman, and every time I try to ask about this, I get like half answers and like a bunch of vague shit. You know, it's a feeling, it's a vibe. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. There's, of course, hormones. That's a massive thing. Right. Just like that beach example. There's a biological thing that we have as men that women don't have. There's a drive there, a need to have something. Once again, don't know what it is. Is testosterone really that powerful? It's inconclusive. Like, I've tried researching this stuff myself. I haven't really found anything that says one way or the other what the truth is. Science is a lot like that. Like I said, it's basically a god. If you believe it, it is what it is. If you don't believe it, it is what it is. There's no solution either way. The way that society treats us is another reality. You can't be a useless man in the society in which we live. Although, like, it would be great to have perfect equality, perfect parity between the sexes, and everyone can do everyone else's role, and it's all hunky-dory, and we live, sing kumbaya. The reality isn't that yet. I don't know if it'll ever be that, really, but it certainly isn't that right now. And I don't want you to fool yourself into thinking that it will be soon. As long as there are people that can look at you with scorn for being a useless man, that reality will fail to establish itself. And the society requires women to behave a certain way, requires them to be docile. There's something about a woman with a commanding tone that people call bitchy. And there's I don't think there's a way around that. I think that's just reality. The reality of the gender. Going against the social norm ends up isolating you. And it's painful. It hurts. I don't think the answer is to buck the trend just because you can't get your way, just because you're insecure. Bucking the trend should be the last resort. It should be when you have no other choice left, I think. So yeah, there's obvious differences, and we have to contend with that. We have to be honest. Manhood is one of those things that's passed down from father to son. It is the legacy that you embody, right? Your father teaches you how to be a man. That's the role of the father. And currently, we're going through a fatherlessness crisis at the moment, and it's not great. Because now we have a bunch of men that are aimless and directionless, and finding father figures in people who don't really behave like fathers. And they don't really deserve to be fathers. I'm sure everyone knows the people I'm talking about. They're bad examples. They set bad examples. They hurt people. I don't think they're men. I think they're failures of men. But they fulfill a role that has gone missing. It has a high demand and no one to fulfill it. Women are terrible at being fathers, surprisingly enough. They're absolutely horrible at it. The things that they think we need are completely contrary to their lived experiences, and so they end up projecting things onto us, things that don't really match up with our lived experiences, with the society we live in, with our hormones. It doesn't match, and we feel that. They're failures. We feel those. Something my father told me is that the role of a man, to be a man, the role is to provide and protect. Those are the key things. A man is someone who can provide for his family and protect his family. It's a very traditional way of determining what a man is. But I'm not going to knock it. It's pretty good. It has purpose, has direction, it's simple, easy to get behind. There's no reason to like question it and doubt it, and just it is what it is. It's helpful. Being a man in this way is helpful. For others, that manhood might take different forms. You're told to become a man through different ways, different methods. And once again, if you don't have a father to pass that down to you, you kind of have to get those answers from men that you see as father figures in your life. Sometimes those people are positive, most of the time they are not. And all of the time, they never really fit exactly what you need because they are not your father. They can never know everything that's going on in your life. They can never know the stresses and strains that you'll deal with because, you're their kid. There's certain things that run in the family. Certain truths that run in the family. And your father will know them far better than you will. But once again, without your father, there is no answer. There's no solution to that. Your mother certainly won't know. She'll try her best, though. Damn it, she'll try her best. But it's just not enough, as is evidenced by the Andrew Tate thing. something my father did when I was like, I don't know, 11. We were leaving the house um to go on vacation in North Carolina or something. Like he couldn't come because he had to work. Dad sat me down on the couch before we left. I'm only 11, by the way. He says, "All right, listen. When you're going out, you have to protect the girls. You have to protect your mom. You have to protect your sister. That's your job. You understand? That's your responsibility." Now, of course, 11-year-old me is taking the shit super seriously. Like, older me understands now what the purpose of that talk was. It was to embolden me. I don't think he actually expected me to protect him if something went wrong, but it was powerful to me. I was being relied upon. It was probably the first time in my life that I had purpose, and I didn't want to let him down. And of course, nothing went wrong, because we're not going to war, and America is a relatively safe country, despite what people say otherwise these days. There wasn't really much that could go wrong, but that still stuck with me, and this thing of becoming the man of the house was a principle that I started to embody. If Dad wasn't around, I had to do it myself. Eventually, your parents won't be around anymore. Eventually, one of them will pass before the other, and if that happens while you're still young, I'm sorry. But those words, being the man of the house, that takes on a different meaning, a secondary meaning that probably wasn't intended. Without the feeling of being needed, which is a weird thing, but I think it's the truth. As men, we have this desire to be needed. If we aren't needed, we grow decadent, empty. I think that's truthful. I think that's real. It's weird. It's very weird, but I think that is the case. Also, can I say, ring jumping, easily the best item in any mod I have ever played with. Botania could never. What did you eat just now, buddy? What did you just eat? Not again. Spider Eye? Ah, damn it. God damn it, I told you not to. So we want to feel needed. And because of the world we live in right now, we feel kind of aimless. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I've kind of lost track of my place. But, men have lost their way. It used to be like a simple thing of like, okay, you are needed because, you are a man. And the world is hostile. And women can't do this alone. You need to step up to the plate. It is your responsibility, it is your duty to step up to the fucking plate. To do something, to be something. And that was very simple. Simple times. But for some reason, these days, we get this feeling that we are no longer needed. That as a man, you have no more purpose. We're dropping out of schools, we're engaging in terrible habits, we're looking at the wrong figures, we're fatherless, we're lacking the responsibilities we used to have, we no longer really care about work, there's no more glory in serving your country or serving something else if you have no other option. Everything's been watered down and emasculated, and it's terrible for us. I think that the people who spearheaded this entire project of like making the world more equal, they probably had good intentions, but the result has ended up with men believing that the world doesn't need men. I wanted to dispel that myth. The world will always need men. You will always be needed. You will always have a purpose to serve. And it doesn't have to be some fucking purpose that someone else gives you. You will always have a place. As long as humanity exists, as long as there are children to raise, as long as we have our morals and our judgments and our prejudices and our wars and our fucking struggles and our capitalism and our economies and our societies, as long as we exist, you are needed. And it is foolish to think you are not. It is very foolish. Well, it's easy to say that, but you don't really see where you're needed, so it's... Okay, now what? Where exactly are you needed? Imagine if we stepped away from the world altogether. Imagine a world without men. Do you know how absolutely terrifying that would be? If the men that exist, quotation marks, men, that exist, all become some fucking weird homunculus creatures wearing human skin, pretending to be men. All walk around doing harm, doing bad shit, letting their fucking rage and hormones go out of control and basically fucking destroying the world. Who has a responsibility to stop them? Who would even have the motivation? I'm not saying that an apocalyptic scenario is what it takes to become a man. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, however, is that you are needed because without you, there is nothing. Do you understand? Both sexes are needed. Yeah, I'm not scared of you this time, motherfucker. You have to believe that. You have to believe that. You have purpose. But that's the first half of this equation, right? Like, okay, I have purpose. I'm needed. I don't know where I'm needed, but I'm needed somewhere. Okay, thanks, Luther. You're so insightful. You're so smart, Luther. What would I do without you? Okay, now what? What is it to be a man? How do I become a man? Like, I'm being emasculated right now. Some guy just rolled up on these girls, and like, not only could I not protect them if someone went down, but also they don't really see me as like a man at all. They see me more as a toy. They see me more as a pet. What is the answer here? What do I do? Well, now I kind of want to talk about what manhood is. It's very late into this discussion. I told myself I would stop making these videos 30 minutes, but god damn it, I can't help it. I want so bad to be like Nico, and my videos are like fucking 8 minutes, and that's the end of it. You're not getting anything else out of me, but I got more to say. I got way too much to say. Like I'm yapping all the time. Okay, so what does it mean to be a man? Yes. Yeah, that's right. It's different for everyone. Wow, so insightful. The obvious answer is the correct answer. It's different for everyone. No one can really tell you how to be a man because, you know, what the fuck is a man? No one really knows. Maybe you're like me, right? Or maybe you're a man who needs drive and purpose, like always. Like, maybe you feel lesser unless you're being pushed. Like, if you are sitting at home playing Minecraft, recording videos, you feel like a fucking loser. Maybe you feel like if you don't accomplish great things in life, you are lesser. Maybe manhood to you is achieving great things. Maybe manhood is growing. Doing more, being more, advancing yourself, progressing, non-stop. Well, maybe not non-stop. But, you know, to the point where you no longer... Actually, no, there are some guys who, like, their entire thing is, I wanted to sit here and grind every single fucking day until I drop dead. I was like, okay. if that's what you want, who am I to judge? Okay. Maybe manhood to you is being able to live your life without burdens. Maybe manhood to you is to live and stick to your principles, to have principles and stick to them. You know? It's as simple as that. No matter what adversity you might face, you're okay with it. You'll bear the weight. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe manhood to you is this process of engaging in vanity, sleeping with as many fucking women as possible. And maybe manhood to you is to raise a family, to raise the next generation to be better than you, to see more than you, to do more than you. What I'm trying to get at here is that all of these things can be considered manly. And what you value is truly up to you. No one has all the answers. No one can have all the answers. So, to that friend who felt absolutely fucking terrible, who felt like he was being emasculated, who felt like a fucking chihuahua in front of these women, I guess the next time I see him, I'm just going to straight up tell him, hey, don't go chasing external validation and shit. Being a man is wholly internal. So stand up straight. Have purpose. Have principles. Stick to those principles. Vibe with those principles. And then wear some fucking booster shoes. Because it doesn't hurt. No one's going to notice 2 inches, brother. I promise.